For several decades, Pakistan has been making tireless efforts for the right of self-determination of the oppressed Kashmiris, who have been victims of India's brutal oppression and tyranny. Recently, after the May Battle of Truth, in which the Pakistan Army gave a befitting response to Indian aggression, the rise of Pakistan's foreign policy has reached heights never seen before. This situation not only became a reflection of Pakistan's diplomatic skill, but also compelled the international community to reconsider the situation in Kashmir. Taking advantage of this rise in foreign policy, Pakistan not only elevated its relations with the United States to a very high level, but US President Donald Trump also became an admirer of Pakistan in several matters. However, what expectations Trump will have from Pakistan in the future remains to be seen. Recently, US President Donald Trump declared Pakistan's Army Chief General Asim Munir as his favorite field marshal and, along with the Prime Minister, called both of them great individuals. This change is not accidental, but based on Pakistan's strategic planning, which focuses on economic diplomacy, regional stability, and global partnership. The year 2025 has been declared the year of diplomatic miracles for Pakistan's foreign policy, during which Pakistan achieved a series of continuous successes, including improved relations with the US, access to rare minerals, and open support from the Trump administration, something unprecedented in the past. Where should one begin or end when talking about the Kashmir issue? For the dispute, filled with inhuman atrocities, began with the partition of India in 1947, when Maharaja Hari Singh decided to accede the Muslim majority state to India, a move unacceptable to Pakistan. Pakistan has always supported the Kashmiris' right to self-determination in accordance with the UN Charter, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and international law. Pakistan's struggle for the Kashmiris is not only diplomatic but also moral, humanitarian, and legal. Millions of Kashmiris are victims of the Indian Army's oppressive policies, where daily violence, extrajudicial killings, destruction of homes, and grave human rights violations occur, and there is no one to hear their cries. Numerous reports by the United Nations, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and the European Union's Human Rights Committee have repeatedly pointed out these violations, resulting in India facing embarrassment at the UN and humiliation on international platforms, forcing all Indian governments, including Modi's, to face severe criticism. Yet the Indian government continues its stubbornness and oppression even after 78 years. The UN Security Council and related commissions have passed a total of 21 resolutions and proposals on the Jammu and Kashmir issue, spanning from 1948 to 1971, most of which are Security Council resolutions. While some belong to the United Nations Commission for India and Pakistan, all these resolutions fall under Chapter VI, which deals with the peaceful settlement of disputes and is recommendatory in nature. And this is the technical point that has hindered the resolution of the Kashmir issue, as Chapter 6 imposes no penalties for non-compliance by member states, allowing countries like India to ignore these resolutions. If we discuss the resolutions that support Pakistan's stance on Kashmir, they include resolutions 38, 39, 47, 51, and 2 UNCIP resolutions, making a total of 6. Among them, Resolution 47 of 1948 and the UNCIP resolution presented on August 13, 1948, are particularly significant as they grant the oppressed Kashmiris the right to self-determination. However, none of these resolutions falls under Chapter 7, which could have compelled India to implement them. As a result, India has continuously violated these UN resolutions and, in blatant disregard of international law, has never agreed to conduct a plebiscite in occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Instead, by revoking Article 370 on August 5, 2019, which granted special status to the region, India made the situation even more complex. India has now begun resettling non-Muslims from outside Kashmir to alter the demographic ratio for future elections, which violates Article 49 of the Fourth Geneva Convention. Furthermore, such demographic changes also fall under Article 8 of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. In 2025, the international media has highly praised Pakistan's extraordinary foreign policy, crediting the May 2025 Battle of Truth and the diplomatic efforts in the right direction as mentioned earlier. Some described it as the renaissance of Pakistan's diplomacy, others as strategic diplomacy, and some called 2025 the year of Pakistan's diplomatic miracles. Even critics, while speaking negatively, acknowledged Pakistan's diplomatic success, saying that Pakistan has achieved the status of an Olympic champion in winning Trump's admiration. However, for Pakistan, this peak of foreign policy is a matter of national pride and a commendable strategy that has paved the way for economic aid, investment, and cooperation in the fight against terrorism. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has further enhanced his influence by nominating Trump once again for the Nobel Peace Prize. The time has come for Pakistan to take advantage of its diplomatic rise and the high flight of its foreign policy by presenting a resolution in the Security Council under Chapter VII. It is also essential to engage with the US and Donald Trump in advance to ensure that such a resolution is not vetoed in favor of India. While presenting the resolution on the Kashmir issue, it will be necessary to secure the prior support of China, Russia, the UK, and France. China, being a permanent member of the Security Council, already supports Pakistan, and as for the Muslim world, it is only natural that Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Malaysia will stand with Pakistan on the resolution in favor of Kashmiris. It is necessary for Pakistan to expose India's agenda by unveiling the grave human rights violations committed in Kashmir and to ensure that economic sanctions are imposed under Chapter 7, compelling India to move toward resolving the Kashmir issue, which it has long been calling its internal matter. Because if Pakistan does not act now, God forbid, it may not be possible to find a solution to the Kashmir issue even in the coming decades.